Exactly. I think on the counterpoint as well, right? We have to think back to game one, where there were moments where they were distinct with what the team composition wanted to do. Raven was on the Ziggs, he wants to stay back, he wants to poke, he wants to throw bombs. But the rest of the team, the Garen, the Mundo, they got a bit bloodthirsty there. They just ran in and left Raven by himself in multiple team fights. So I think that's kind of a sign that they are still not exactly always on the same page just yet, but they're trying to work out the kinks.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be really interesting on the side of Alliance because we do know that they are capable of these, lane swaps and even role swaps here. I did actually, you know what? I'm a fan of the Ashe. I know it's not really used much in competitive play, but I actually think that, her skills are just so underutilized. I feel like if Alliance can build their kind of strategy and character around it, they could have something special here going into the Sea Championships. What do you think, Omo?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Ashe is honestly a really OP champion. But because she doesn't do a lot of damage, people tend to undervalue her. She's one of the lower damage marksmen. But her utility is so good. Her lane dominance is always... Her ability to contest mid priority is so good. She just provides so many things which are just so important in the meta. But I think that just because she does low damage, no dopamine, people don't value her. I think we were talking to What the Jazz yesterday. He said the same thing, right? Ashe is my favorite hero to play with as a support, and you can completely understand why. You push waves, you control lanes, and you have so much map control as a marksman, and that's insane to see. But unfortunately, doesn't look like we're seeing it this game.
Yeah, my question really for coming out of Geek Fam, because we're talking a lot about Alliance right now, there's sort of almost acting like a foregone conclusion that they're going to win this one. I'd love to see Geek Fam draft something that has very nice ease of execution. The Ziggs and the J4 in the first rotation scream to me, love it. Okay, Cataclysm, Bomb, a lot of damage to follow, right? If you manage to survive that Cataclysm, right, there's a Riven, there's a Kha'Zix to follow to pick off the stragglers. But
Match to see. Riku, what are your thoughts coming down when it comes to the draft?
I'm excited. I'm excited about Alliance's draft in particular because just as what Omo mentioned, it is very classic to see this Lee Sin and then Renekton. Basically having to set up these dives, and as well as Azora Vecchi, once the charm lands, everything will just follow suit. Everything. You know that someone is going to immediately die. For Geek Fam, on the other hand, this is a very interesting draft, I suppose, especially they're opting for more of that, traditional, non-traditional duo bot lane, but the Leona is something that we rarely see. Actually, when we look at the fall season, normally we get to see more of the Blitzcrank and less of the Leona, despite, 3 consecutive patches. Basically, now Nyx here on this Leona, that's going to be that big engage, rather, with the Solar Flare. So I assume that Nyx is going to do the roaming, considering the fact that Momo has big wave clear, has the satchel for safety. Biggest question is, will Raven and CWJ bot lane allow Nyx to do that? Because right now we're seeing them having priority in the lane.
Yeah, definitely. The engage, I think Geek Fam wants to utilize that, especially when you're considering you have Dashang on the Riven, you have Haki mid lane, Jarvan 4. And I think they want that oppression up against Alliance to be able to capitalize onto the engage up against them. Maybe that's the reason why. And even having a Momo with the Ziggs as a Dragon laner can have such of an effect on having to match up on the aggression of Alliance. But so far, it has been Alliance who is getting those Rift Cutters, who's getting the dominance into the bottom lane. You see a lot of pressure coming in from them. What do you think will happen even 4 minutes into the game? Because the first objective that we're gonna see is the Infernal Dragon. But before then, it's gonna be 69 being locked in. CC chain from Renekton, flashing from SSK. Slice and dies. First blood for Alliance. And now to follow up, the Shang will be forced to back away as well, putting up the barrier to just go back alive. And Alliance dominant first 2 minutes.
Just according to plan, right? All Ahri, Lee Sin. Look at the charm! Azora Vecchi. Wow. Nice catch there on the Shang. He most likely did not expect that.
Yeah, but here into the bot side, you have Raven, very low on HP. Nyx goes in for the stun. 1 HP is going to be left, forced out to flash away. Nyx is also very low. Everyone is just dying, and that will be the first kill for Geek Fam. 69 into the backside, places on the ward, gives information, not going to pull through because I think he sees Raven already at 1/3 of his HP because of the honey fruit.
Is able to be healthy enough so that 69 will... And the fact that Nyx was pretty much low, I think one auto attack from a minion was enough to kill Nyx. So they decided to back away, retreat instead, and fight another day because Geek Fam bot lane pretty much already won. It was Alliance that basically wanted to start a fight. They were, again, they had priority, they had a lot of space. Top side though.
Yeah, SSK starts this
Go
with Styles and dies, followed up by Jelson, gets a kill down. Alliance once again gets a good trade, kills off the Shang in the Baron lane.
Ease of execution there. Even though the Shang is on the Riven, still no level 5 just yet. Look at Nyx's roams though here at the top side of the map. Alliance, they're happy just killing the Shang time and time again with this scary duo of a top and as well as jungler of the Lee Sin and as well as the Renekton. And this is, you know, classic results coming from these two. Especially, you know, Jelson having to be here on Alliance, of course. A lot of the audience out there are very familiar with the name, of course, back in the Wild Rift Icon series, PPGL. And now he's here in Alliance, and now he's showing his stuff here on this Lee Sin.
Yeah, he roams actually pretty good here for Alliance. I think he is proactive onto the actions of Alliance, and Dashang currently is now in a huge gap up against SSK. If you looked at the gold difference of these two Baron laners a while ago, it's just so massive. It's like 1k gold lead for SSK against Dashang.
It's huge. That constant pressure coming from Jelson is the way to do it, but look at Alliance. Look at them zoning out the rest of Geek Fam here. They have no access whatsoever to contest this one. And the story, I thought the story was Alliance gonna get a pick, but they're happy with just the Shang and able to zone out. They might get even 2 objectives here. Geek Fam, again, they're hoping Nyx or Hockey will go in first before anything else. That's it.
Yeah, and I think this is the reason why Alliance is focusing on the Shang, because they know that the Shang is one of the valuable players here for Geek Fam. If Riven is able to get that gap up against SSK into the Baron lane, you see the prediction here that the Shang is just gonna dominate when it comes to initiating those fights, initiating the setup. But now with Alliance punishing them consistently, it's now gonna be much more harder for them to be able to try and engage Alliance, even if they have Leona and Jarvan 4 in their draft.
Exactly. What is your follow-up damage? I mean, you do have you do have Momo here on the Ziggs, but it's definitely not enough. You still need that second item, Rabadons, to be absolutely painful. The fact that Alliance also has some form of sustain in the form of this Nami on CWJ. Rift Herald now being started. Charm misses.
Gonna be missed. Yep. Alliance actually goes for the engage. Tidal Wave connects onto 4. That's gonna
Killer
be Renekton into the backside. Gets a kill down. 69 will die. And followed up with a mid laner.
Dashang?
Also gonna fall down. Dashang tries to outplay the enemy team, but this is a 1v3, and Alliance takes it home.
And Geek Fam is unable to finish all the low health targets. Remember what we talked about in the previous game. Whenever there's going to be big poke, usually the damage is not going to be enough, and that's why you need a finisher. Who is your finisher? The Shang. What happened to the Shang? Alliance basically constantly pressured the Riven, the Shang, over there atop.
Yeah, look at the gold from Riven compared to SSK. It's like a 2k gold difference, 1.5k gold difference onto both these Baron laners, and pretty much the Shang is even below sort of the other players coming from Alliance as well.
Yeah, the gap is just right now at this point of the game. Let's take a look at that replay. Raven with a very aggressive killer instinct. I mean, he knows that Geek Fam is pretty much already on retreat. And we saw how much the Shang wanted to at least take someone down, like anyone. There's just so many low health targets on the board at that moment, but Geek Fam unable to find the finish.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this is going to be very much more so difficult because the only range for Geek Fam is going to be Ziggs. They're only AP. They're depending on a lot of these frontliners for Geek Fam to initiate onto those fights, but the problem is they couldn't. There's just so much to disengage for Alliance, considering also they have Nami with the Tidal Wave, so that's just gonna punish onto the Shang, onto 69, onto Hack with the Jarvan 4, and even Nyx to engage onto those team fights.
Yeah, it's really difficult with the gold lead that Alliance has now. I mean, look at their buy. Triple Twin Shadows. What does that do? You basically counter death brushes that Nyx is going to set up with the Leona. You also basically counter 69 on the Kazakhs, by the way.
Yeah.
Solo kill atop.
Solar Flare for Nyx though into the mid lane, forces out the flash coming through. That's gonna kinda Kalista with a
Killer
flag, and
instinct.
Drag not gonna be able to get the kill. Oh, but the trade happens. It's a 1-for-1. Aki gets it back.
Was a tad worried about that with a kick coming from Jelson, sending Hockey close to Raven, who's one auto attack away, but there's the trust, there's the tower. It was basically a 3v1 situation to finish off the kill onto Hockey. What a beautiful counter engage coming from Alliance.
Yeah, it was so fashionable. The fancy footworks coming from Haki was phenomenal in that engage alone. But what is not fancy though is the 4.3k gold lead that Alliance is doing up against Geek Fam. This massive gold differential in this game in the first 8 minutes and 30 seconds of the game is just so much to handle. How can Geek Fam be able to turn this table upside down up against Alliance, considering that there's just so much of a gap in the early game?
Yeah, they have the potential to get a catch, to get a pick. Now they're conjiving.
SSK pins her attack onto the backside. Geek Fam with the tidal wave, goes for the knockup. Hacky rather, onto the backside. Cataclysm locks on 2. That's huge for Geek Fam. But 3-4-2. One member
Jelson.
more kill for Alliance. And Jelson is now into the backside as well. Onto Kha'Zix. Not gonna push through. So much for Alliance. And now they have their eyes locked onto the turret 1/3 in mid lane.
Yeah, they've got an open, they've managed to open up mid lane, and now they're gonna get this air drake, which is so painful for Geek Fam, because we saw how much roaming Alliance has been doing. We talked about the Twin Shadows. I talked about 2 reasons why this is good. The third reason is they're gonna keep roaming, they're gonna activate Twin Shadows, they're gonna find a target, get someone slowed, easy charm, easy initiate by Alliance.
Yeah, and that is what they keep constantly doing. Though Geek Fam still staying put onto 5k gold difference onto Alliance. They don't want to give much more onto Alliance at this point in time because it's just gonna be so much devastating if they give much more gold. But Alliance stacking up onto the dragons now with the Infernal and Cloud Dragon gonna be huge when it comes to the later game. But Alliance initiates this fight. Solar Spirit targets to the lake. Cataclysm to follow up. SSK is there locked in, but Nyx being alive with 1 second longer, but will fall after. Now Hockey will be stunned by SSK. Another kill for Alliance. That's gonna be the double for them.
And the Twin Shadow slow into
solo kill.
Raven?
Wow. Raven
That's-
just got the solo kill to the mid lane.
Yeah, that is tragic. This is a full-on Alliance game now. They have full control. They're walking it on everybody on the side of Geek Fam. They can take towers, they can take objectives, they can take lives here in this first game.
Yeah, definitely taking lives now down here. 10 kill difference that Alliance is leading towards this game. Number 1 against Geek Fam is stating their dominance here in this group of death up against this team. We'll see though how Geek Fam can try and turn tides around, because currently it's not looking that great.
Yeah, this is looking very difficult. Every single lane, there's this big gap happening. Again, for that late game insurance, you have Momo, but at the same time, you're scaling alongside a Kaisa who is now currently snowballing.
Ooh, Solar Flare, immediate flash there from Zoraveki, saving his life, but Geek Fam takes a tier 1 turret. Now he's locked down. Cataclysm with the Mega Inferno Bomb gets the secured kill because Zoraveki doesn't have flash, and Alliance will lose their mid lane, but they're pushing tier 2 turret bot lane.
Yeah, their mid lane are gone, but that means mid lane and bottom lane inner towers are gone as well. So that is not sure about that exchange coming from Geek Fam. Of course, they wanted to push themselves towards top, but it's just them being pushed to a corner now with this massive 10k gold lead.
Yeah, it's the value, right? 100 gold per play, it's pretty much. It's just so much going through Alliance. But now Geek Fam gets a secured kill onto the support. CWJ will fall down. Slowly but surely, Geek Fam is trying to come back.
At this point, Alliance must be careful.
Ooh, Jelson once again goes for the stun, slice and dice, finishes him down.
He's alive!
Up, but he lives just a little bit longer. But Jelson now gonna get killed instead. That will be the 1-for-1 into the bot lane engage.
Raven.
Solar Flare tries to catch up. It's gonna be Raven coming into the backside.
Killer Instinct.
Also, but Killer Instinct, what a clutch coming from Raven. Now he gets a killer return. It's gonna be Momo falling down. But now Nyx stuns him up. Flashes is gonna be burned down, but Geek Fam will not be able to get that trade. Charmed up to follow up. Kaisa will get the kill onto the Jarvan 4. Nyx and 69 forced to retreat. So much damage from Alliance.
That could have been a fight that Geek Fam wanted to fight, but because Raven is still able to survive because of the Killer Instinct, because of the Zonia's pickup, and is able to dive the back line, therefore deleting Momo the 1-out attack max void stacks after that is just so painful. Is able to turn things around, and it doesn't matter. Even though Jelson has fallen, Alliance is able to win that game, buy some time, get to the Baron, set up for the Baron possibly. But I mean, Ocean Drake is still up for grabs, and the leeway for Geek Fam to come back into this game is very, very narrow, and it all will solely fall into Nyx's hands.
Once again, 69 now gonna be 1 HP.
Honey
Goes
fruit.
for the honey fruit, saves his life, but here at the backside gets a kill. Lee Sin removes the jungler, and they can start up onto the Baron Nashor.
I was about to say, it's all up to Nyx for that initiation, for that heavy engage. Momo is a Ziggs. He can just throw bombs from afar, from behind this pit. Is there going to be a steal, perhaps?
2k HP remaining. Solar Flare jumps in, not gonna be able to get that steal down, but Lee Sin will die. But before then, they get the Baron Nashor. Now Hockey into the Baron's pit, trying to go back away. Desham comes through, comes into the party, joins up. Double kill from Kaisa. Geek Fam will get eviscerated. Triple kill for Raven. With the Baron buff, they could push into onto the inhibitor turret.
Possibly, maybe even ending the game. There's so many death timers. 20, only 69 here to defend.
Yeah, pushing through inhibitor turret. 69 waiting for the right opportunity into the backside. That will be the next base, next stop, next hit. That will be game 1 for Alliance taking on in the series.
Big statement. Alliance coming into the C Championships with big roster change.
But Alliance, they have been doing really well. Massive improvement from how I remember them from the Summer Super Cup, for instance. And, you know, I really do think that this all-star roster over here, built out of superstars from different teams, it is doing really quite well. We had that question of whether these guys would jive. Well, it seems to be doing quite,
He's driving pretty well.
they're doing pretty well for themselves right now. And going into game 2, we are looking at the bans in our champ select. Omo, right off the bat, what do you think?
Right off the bat, it seems pretty default. We do see the Ziggs being left up, Renekton being banned on Rin, nothing special. The one thing I do want to point out is that I do like that they're targeting the Shang's pocket pick in that Fiora. They don't want to give him a chance to carry the game, even though I do agree with what you said, Skimmy. He's probably not going to get the time of data split push.
Yeah.
Alliance don't want to risk that at all, and they're just going to be taking this Kha'Zix once again, which has been working very well for Jelson.
Yeah, he just looks so comfortable, and I'm pretty sure they can draft anything they want around it. We've seen it evidenced already today, right? You can go standard, you can go to this pick comp, you can go a bunch of global CC. The world is really their oyster. What's worth noting is that the Gallery was banned last time when Alliance won blue side. That's been let through this time. TF is still there if they want it, so they certainly could empower it in that direction. But it looks like Geek Fam are just going to run things back, kind of the same way they did up against Divine Esports. They had the Nunu, they had the Galio, they had the Lulu, but in that game, bear in mind, they did have a Fiora, so they're going to have to pivot in a different direction this time around, but I'm really curious to see what kind of damage they can bolster to make the Nunu look as impressive as we've seen today.
Yeah, this Nunu right now, it looks good because Alliance don't have anything which can stop the snowball, and if you get onto the backline with Nunu, it's gonna be so disruptive, especially against short-range carries like Kha'Zix, like Riven, like this Kaisa. The problem is he's not really gonna get to channel his ultimate, but that's gonna be fine because he's gonna go in, he's gonna be a big beefy boy, and then he just does whatever he can. We'll need to see the follow-up though. I think that's the main thing that you brought up, Skimmy, and I completely agree with that. Darius is fine. It gives you time to stack up, but the problem is there's not really a target that you can stack on the side of Alliance right now.
Yeah, very mobile, aren't they? I mean, all 4 champions can certainly dart in and dart out, so it's going to make it hard in that regard. But I guess we go back to the original point, right? There's still not going to be that option to try and stop the initial snowball. And that's what we sort of witnessed earlier today, right? The fact that he can be so omnipresent on the map, very quick as a Nunu to pretty much roam in any lane. And if you've got the right mental or the right game state understanding to know where that next play might be taking place, it certainly could be a huge option. Now, this is interesting. The Orianna certainly is a pick that could cause a bit of a problem, but I guess once again it's the case of throwing out an ultimate to cancel just a basic ability.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly the problem here as well.
Up against Divine Esports up a while ago.
Yeah, I really like, this absolute 0 plus the wild growth to ensure that 69 is able to survive as much as he can to get the absolute 0 charge down. And with their composition, I like this because they have the Shang on the Darius. We saw the bans, basically. Alliance just funneled all their bans up against him at the top side. Every single top lane pick, rather. Could be an early 1v1 actually over here.
Yeah, SSK going up against the Shang. pretty much equal damage, maybe much more a little bit onto SSK, but pretty much no kills for now for both teams.
Remember what I said earlier about having poke on your side? And usually what happens if you have a ton of poke, sometimes you can't finish the kill. And Darius is the best champion to do that because of his ult and as well as that big resets for the Shang later on. So Hockey will have, I suppose, big pressure to land all the bombs in the world, which, you know, will be very painful come the 2-item power spike, which is the Luden's Echo and the Rabadon's Death Cap. D9 gonna be on this Nunu again, possibly setting up for a dive here at the bottom lane.
Oh, with the game sense coming from CWJ though, almost putting a step onto the Tribers. Now 69 actually starting this up. Raven forces out the flash. Grand entrance coming from CWJ as well,
Wow.
knocking them off. First blood coming for Geek Fam. Make it a double. A 69 takes a kill down onto Raven.
Raven tried to zigzag his way out of danger, but the maneuvering of that snowball coming from 69 was just on point. They were able to eliminate Raven, and get that first 2 kills on the board for Geek Fam. Really good start for this team.
Oh, look at Jelson. Looks to try and engage. Raven goes in. Knock up, stun, follow up. Forces out the flash, apprehend,
heal.
knocking up. Almost
The
getting
stats.
killed down. Can the burn put him down? The answer is no, as the Shang goes away with 1 HP.
This is exactly why Alliance poured in all their bans against this guy. Almost with that 1v2, almost killed someone, which was SSK, was incredibly low. And now we could possibly see Jelson making his second visit at an attempt at his life. He's porting back. Will he make it? That is the question. And
Ooh,
he
no, he can't.
does. He does. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Jels-
unfortunate.
Yeah, it was unfortunate indeed. Jelson, you know what? He was sneaky enough. He was able to be sighted down by the information, by the ward coming from the Shang.
Wait.
But he was sneaky, he was quick, he was efficient into the mid lane. Now getting the kill down for Zaraveki. That will equalize the stated game. 2 for 2 for everyone.
Oriana solo kill onto Ziggs. Usually when these two match it up, it's just usually them staring at each other for 10 minutes and, you know, making peace, just chilling with their coffee or tea with the table on their balcony. And it's a different story. You got the solo kill Oriana earlier into this game. 3 minutes is something we do not usually see.
Yeah, definitely something very different actually from compared to game number 1, wherein we saw how Alliance dominated the Shang with the Riven Baron lane from Geek Fam. But now it's a different story. Right now, Geek Fam is dancing in the same melody, in the same music that Alliance is dancing. Right now, they have equalized this game, pretty much even having furthermore gold than Alliance at this point in time. Having 1.1k gold lead is, I think, how Geek Fam really wants to utilize this. We keep on talking about how Geek Fam, the Shang to be specific, is a core member here on how the story will be played out by Geek Fam. And right now, it's looking actually quite great, except maybe the kill from Jelson, sneaking his way up onto the top lane.
Yeah, Alliance has invested so many resources on the pick and bans earlier, and still the Shang doesn't really matter. He's gonna pick Darius. He's gonna be that mountain at the top portion of the map where, you know, Jelson, SSK having a hard time sort of capitalizing on him in comparison to the previous game. So I really like this start coming from Geek Fam, especially early game wise. You know, Momo and Nyx as well having to set up that dive against Raven and CWJ. Again, all these Kaisa matchups versus anything that can bully them early. Varus, Xayah Rakan. It just has been incredibly tough. And that's the reason why, you know, in the tournament we get to see almost these lane swaps just to avoid that matchup. But this time around, we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, now Jelson coming up into the bot lane. Tries to just visit down, say hi, say hello, but goes back away.
One thing I'm looking forward to, though, is, you know, Zaraveki. Amazing Oriana player. And that is something, you know, just him, all by himself in the mid lane. Imagine if you add in CWJ into the equation. We know that right now, Rakan is the best pair for the Shockwave. Not the Cat Ball Rengar, it's not the Jarvan for Cataclysm, Flag, and Drag. No, it is that big knock-up coming from CWJ on this Rakan that we're going to be looking into, especially during the Infernal, or rather the Dragon fights in general.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned about it because the Wombo combo coming from Quickness and Grand Entrance from CWJ with the Rakan, with the Shockwave, is absolutely gonna just shred down Geek Fam when it comes to those team fights. And we can expect it later on, as now Zora Vecchi and Rakan is now joined together to here into the backside. Shockwaves onto 2 with a Grand Entrance to follow up. And now Alliance will not be able to get that kill down. Delays onto the Infernal Dragon though. SSK comes into the fray, jumps in, tries to go to steal. Will not be able to do so, and SSK will be deleted by Geek Fam. And Momo into the backside, just dashes in, gets the kill down once again. That will be the 1 for 2. Geek Fam is shredding Alliance with a triple kill from Momo.
There we go, Momo with a triple kill, really nice start. They started off with winning the 2v2 matchup, and then now winning that dragon fight. Alliance had an idea. What if we get a bit greedy, get the Rift Herald, we'll stall here and see if we can snag the Infernal Drake to make it a 2 out of 2 in terms of early objectives. But Geek Fam, after baiting out 2 important ults, Alliance were basically pushed to a corner and not exactly prepared to fight that fight anymore.
Yeah, I think the better pathway for Geek, or not Geek Fam, but Alliance rather, was they got the Rift Herald already. The top lane was open because pretty much it was a 4-man roam coming from a Geek Fam into the Dragon's Pit, so they could push that. So I think that was a missed opportunity. So instead, Geek Fam got 4 kills.
Yeah, they were a tad greedy, I suppose. Top
Picture
side,
in
though.
picture, Geek Fam actually just being shredded
69.
down. Alliance tries to counter engage.
Snowball.
69 coming up. Stun, root onto
Haki.
Zoravec. He's still gonna be alive, but that will be a kill
Wow.
coming from Haki. Double down. Raven and CWJ will be eviscerated 2 for 2.
I really am beginning to like the Ziggs Nunu combo just because of, well, not only, you know, the bouncing bombs and the snowballs, the ice and fire, but also the fact that, you know, usually when we see a Ziggs, maybe you pair it up with a Jarvan 4 to funnel in all the bombs. Maybe you pair it up with a Lux, classic matchup back in the summer season. Hold that thought, though.
Yeah, CWJ Quickness with a Grand Entrance knocks off onto the Shang. SSK catching up. That's ultimate connecting. Twin Shadows as well, slowing him down. But too much, too long. The Alliance is going to be forced to back away.
It's gonna be fine for now, even has a barrier. But going back to the not Lulu, well, there is a Lulu in this game. The Nunu and as well as the Ziggs combo, you have so many slows, therefore it's so easy to get a kill, get a bomb.
Zarvecki, whoa, what the damage coming from Nuna and Willem that might get the kill down. Geek Fam gets it done. 1 for 1 though, Jungle traded for mid lane. Alliance catching up. 4-man roam top side, Jelson jumps in. Momo very low, but the Wild Growth saves his life. They go back, they are fine with a mid lane kill.
Yeah, Geek Fam doesn't have to be extra greedy. They're fine with their lead now. They can just go back away, get towers down because Momo is in the lead. SSK will try his best defending. Tower.
Is on a defense roll. Mission Impossible 3v1 will not be able to do so. Alliance will lose their tier 1 mid turret.
Yeah, Alliance forced to dance to the music of Geek Fam right now. It's the complete polar opposite of what happened in game number 1 where Alliance triple Twin Shadow pickup early and is able to just keep roaming, find targets, get the charms in. This is so different now that they're opting for more of the scaling. With the Zaravecki, big shockwaves later on. Braven as well. 20-minute mark, 15 to 20 minutes. We're expecting the Kaisa to power through and be that late game insurance threat. On the side of Geek Fam, of course, this is the team, this is the composition rather, that can make active moves around the map, and that's the reason why we get to see them get this early lead, especially Momo here. That will bridge the gap between Haki after the Rabadons will really, really hurt.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a while ago in game number 1, we're looking at a pop music. Now we're rocking onto the metal music, the rock music. We're having that
pentakill music.
constant pressure. Yeah, the pentakill music in this game. So much aggression, so much power, and so much things happening in this game. And Geek Fam is controlling this matchup. So we're changing the tempo, we're changing the melody. We're now having a
We're
different
changing the radio
storyline
station?
for Alliance.
Is that it?
Right. Right, maybe. Change it up.
That's what Geek Fam did. I mean, They were opting for more of that big scaling earlier. Now they're able to make moves around the map. Something that I'm looking forward to, though, in some of these fights is... We talked about the Nunu Ziggs combo. I can imagine Absolute Zero into the Mega Inferno Bomb, so big AoEs. It's gonna be absolutely painful. I'm excited to see that combo happen.
Yeah, I mean, CC block him down, Mega Inferno Bomb to follow up. So much damage, so much things happening, and Alliance needs to respect that. Especially how 69 is keep on roaming around the map. He's being proactive all throughout in this game number 2, and I think this is what we want to see. The jungler to be very proactive in this game. But look here, into the bot side of the map, it's Alliance having that 5-man roam.
Yeah, right now, they just wanted to take the tower down, but the Shang is right there, so it's a tad difficult to push through the tower. Especially, topside is getting pressured, and if they're going to be indecisive, if they can't find a kill in this short window, they're going to lose a tower.
SSK, Raven,
The Shang?
2v1, Protobelt forced away. That's
Burn
Raven,
Sting.
Killer Instinct to come in, apprehend, to delay his
One
life.
more
But
auto
the Shang's
attack.
still gonna be alive. Guillotine to try and heal off damage, but he will not be able to get that kill. Look at
Big
Geek
Fam.
Fam though, starting off onto the Baron Nashor. They know they have the numbers advantage, but Jelson is just around the corner. 69 will not let this true 4K onto the Baron, who is gonna take it down. Charm
up.
with a grand entrance. That will be the
Shockwave.
CC chain, but Geek Fam will take the Baron in 10-minute mark. This will be as quick as you can get. And now Geek Fam following through. Double kill coming from Momo. Gets a lot of
Raven.
damage in. SSK into the front lines. Gets eviscerated with the culling. And that will be the triple kill for Geek Fam.
What a fight coming from Geek Fam. Very decisive in their movements as well, knowing the fact that Raven and basically SSK were at the bottom portion of the map wanting to get a kill on the Shang. Why not start the Baron? We are in the lead. Make them panic, make Lions panic, make them move. And this was the awkward spot. Beautiful Absolute Zero there with that big AoE. And the rest is history as we get to see Momo with that big triple kill. Big ultimates were basically down after the Baron take, so Alliance had really no resources to fight that one.
Yeah, I told you, Riku, we're playing, we're jamming onto some pentakill music here, some metal music in this game. So much for Geek Fam, controlling this matchup from pop to metal. And now they're showing up big time. They have Infernal Dragon, they have the Ocean Dragon, they even have the Baron Nashor. So pretty much all the objectives is in their favor. On top of that, 4 turrets, only 1 for Alliance. So much gold, so much everything for Geek Fam.
And Azora Vecchi will be that only reliable wave clear because I feel like Raven having to stand close for the Icadian Rain will be very scary. You'll be in range of what the Shang's Protobelt apprehend, slash apprehend perhaps even. So with that, we'll see as they try to defend this. It's gonna be, they have to go in if they want to defend their base or else they're gonna lose towers.
Yeah, Alliance holding on onto the inhib turret. Geek Fam still trying to push though. Look at top lane, the Shang pretty aggressive here. But you have to respect, you have Azor Vecchi, fast clear wave, and you also have Raven. Not as long of a range to go for the Arcane range, but enough to clear out the wave very easy so the Alliance can have that time to try and recuperate what they have lost so far in this game.
Yeah, they were able to slow down the siege coming from Geek Fam there, but still doesn't change the fact that all of their waves is not pushed in their favor. Geek Fam will start the Mountain Drake, and the big shields will definitely help against, you know, the big shockwave move that Azara Vecchi is hoping to get. And this is, again, a Geek Fam game now, and so far, the trend has been 1-1, as Mika said today, except for the Divine versus Eagles matchup that we had, and is looking to be a very strong, I suppose, statement against Alliance that they can match the big early game, and they're not going to allow Alliance to scale at all.
Yeah, they're changing things up in this game. They're looking to fight Alliance with their own poison, with their own medicine, on having that early aggression, having that early lead in this matchup. And I think 69 is just proactive in this game. Look at the jungle. The difference of 2k gold of 69 and Jelson, so massive in this matchup. And he is going to be so tanky with the Dead Man's Plate and the Sunfire Aegis. He's going to tank out big time for Geek Fam.
Yeah, is able to tank, is able to survive a bit more. to get the absolute 0 down and done. Now they're setting up for this Baron here, and it's going to be so difficult because you're up against Hockey on the Ziggs. How can you go near? What is your access? Yes, you have Jelson, and as well as SSK and CWJ as well to just basically ignore all these walls. But you're going to, you know, jump into the loving arms of an absolute 0, all the bombs in the world, even the Shang's loving embrace with the apprehend, so it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah. And now they're starting once again onto the Baron Nashor. Alliance have the contest, because if they don't, this is going to be over. Look at the Shang going for the apprehend onto Zarveki. And look at the Baron spit. It's a 4v4. Look at it. It's going to be the fight. Very low for Jelson, though forced to back away. That's going to be Culling going in for a lot of damage. Kill onto Kaisa. Raven and Zarveki will die down. Look at apprehend. That's going to be double. Jelson jumping back away. He forces out the flash. Nunel will up. Goes for the stun. Goes for the root. And they will get the kill onto the jungler. And now Geek Fam forcing out onto the top lane once again. Forcing them to go back into the fountain. So much damage.
So much damage, so much lead. They're going to the Nexus, and they're gonna make this a 1-1.
Yeah, Alliance holding on. That's gonna be the grand enter coming from Rakan. Will be erased down. A lot of damage. Geek Fam going for the Nexus base. SSK still trying to catch up. Goes for the stun, go for the root. Not gonna be able to do so. Azaki puts him down. And Geek Fam is going for the Nexus. Raven's gonna be alive though. Zarveki's there as well. But look at that. Geek Fam equalizes the series with a 1-1.
Strong early game control coming from Geek Fam.